Have you ever wondered what the fastest way to get ancient debris in Minecraft is? I'm Aurelian, and I was wondering that very thing, or at least this commenter was wondering the same thing. So I set out to test 5 different methods that I thought had a good chance of being the most efficient ways to get netherite. The first method I wanted to try was strip mining. I didn't think it had a very good chance of being the forerunner in my experiment, but it would be good to use as a reference for all of my other tests. I started out by giving myself iron armor and a sword and a pickaxe, with the pickaxe having efficiency 5. I then used the pickaxe to sprint and insta-mine netherrack in a straight line until I came across ancient debris. Unfortunately, I started off in a basalt delta, which I couldn't insta-mine through. Luckily, I soon found my way into an area with netherrack, but kept running into lava ravines and gravel and blackstone patches. Whenever I hit these areas, I would turn 90 degrees and continue as far as I could, but they definitely still decreased the efficiency of this method. At one point, I even died in the lava and had to use spectator mode to find my way back to my items. Later, I almost died again and got down to half a heart, but I managed to put myself into creative before I died and decided to give myself resistance for the rest of the tests. After 15 minutes of strip mining at Y15 in the nether, I had managed to get 10 ancient debris, putting strip mining at about 40 ancient debris per hour. Not terrible, but I can do better. The next method I wanted to try was sweep mining. Not only is this method oddly satisfying, but it also exposes more blocks per second than strip mining does, which made me think that it would be a bit more efficient. Once again, I started in the basalt delta, and after mining through it for a while, I decided to fly past in spectator mode. I had an easier time on this test, and my resistance definitely saved me from death a few times. After 15 minutes of sweep mining, I got 13 ancient debris, placing it at 52 ancient debris per hour. That's better than the last test, but I have a feeling explosives will be a bit more effective. One of the most well-known methods of getting ancient debris is bed bombing, which utilizes the fact that beds will explode if you try to sleep in them in the nether. Additionally, ancient debris is immune to explosions, meaning that any ancient debris within explosion range of the bed is guaranteed to be revealed. After flying to another random location at Y15, I made a strip mine and placed a few beds on either side to expose ancient debris. This worked pretty well, but after the first few beds I decided to place them off the sides of the craters instead of off a dedicated strip mine, and this seemed to work a bit better. I exploded beds for a solid 25 minutes before I finished. I wanted to go for 30 minutes, but my 4 shulker boxes and an inventory's worth of beds didn't last that long. I managed to get 30 ancient debris from this trip, which comes out to 72 ancient debris per hour. That's definitely the best so far, but I want to see how it compares to the next method. The comparison, that's the main goal in my experiment. Exploding TNT also works to find ancient debris, so I started strip mining and filled the tunnel with TNT. This seemed to work the best out of my methods so far, but I had the same problems as I had when I was just strip mining. I ran into lava, gravel, and blackstone too often. As a result, I spent most of my time digging the holes to fill with TNT. At the end, I decided to try mixing sweep mining with TNT, and it seemed to work better than filling strip mines with TNT, but I don't have enough data to confirm this. By the end of the 25 minutes, I had gotten 36 ancient debris, which is about 86 and a half ancient debris per hour. Also, I only used around 3 stacks of TNT out of the full inventory that I brought. I still have one method to test though, and I have a feeling that it's going to be the best of the group. You guessed it, or maybe not, I don't know, but this method is using a tunnel bore. I was going to include the build time and the final time, but apparently my recording stops when I switch tabs, so I'll remove 5 minutes from the final time, even though it took a bit longer to build. Anyway, the tunnel bore seemed to work pretty well until I got under a lava lake, at which point I would have to stop after every explosion to plug holes in the ceiling. This may have been because I built the tunnel bore 1 block higher than I should have. I got out of the lava lakes after 20 minutes of bombing and decided to keep going till the hour was up to get a better sample. As expected, there was less lava after I passed the lava lake. After 55 minutes of mining and my added 5 minutes for the build time, I got 25 ancient debris, putting this method at a measly 25 ancient debris per hour. This is significantly fewer than any of the other methods, but I guess it makes sense. I'm only able to set off TNT once every few seconds, much lower than simply filling strip mines with TNT, and I would have been unable to turn if I had run into a lava ravine. I think tunnel bores can be good on maps, but my single TNT duper wasn't very good. In conclusion, there are a variety of methods to obtain ancient debris, and some are better than others. Strip mining is the worst method at 40 ancient debris per hour, and to be honest, I wouldn't use this method. Sweep mining is a bit better at 52 ancient debris per hour, and I would only use it if you don't have access to explosives. Bed bombing is better than both of these methods and will get you 72 ancient debris per hour, but expect to use about 11 shulker boxes of beds each hour you use this method. I would use this to get your first set of netherite or before you have access to a gunpowder farm. Filling strip mines with TNT is the best method in most cases and will get you 86.5 ancient debris per hour, but will use around 7 stacks of TNT per hour. If you want a way to get consistent amounts of netherite without spending a ton of resources, TNT duping tunnel bores will get you around 25 ancient debris per hour per tunnel bore. Using one tunnel bore alone is less less efficient than even strip mining, but if you connect a bunch of these, they could become the best method for getting ancient debris. Just keep in mind that it's hard to move them through lava, and they won't work on bedrock addition or if TNT duping gets patched. If you're planning on going ancient debris mining, I would make sure to bring both fire resistance potions and a shovel, since you're almost guaranteed to run into lava and gravel. Oh, and by the way, none of these methods can hold a candle to the sixth method, which is using cheats to expose all of the ancient debris in your world. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing. I think Tunnel Bees